The bells have struck, so it's now afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We are very excited. We've been waiting for this day to come, and kind of a whole new direction to continue the development of the city of Hamilton. So I'm thrilled to be here. I'm Dan Bates. I'm president of the Chamber of Commerce here. And we are thrilled to be part of this. Just so the microphone is for the TV, not for you, so we'll talk loud. And I'm very excited that Congressman Warren Davidson could join us today, and he's going to actually kick off the ceremonies. And by the way, stand back because we are going to do an actual groundbreaking when this is over. So we're going to crank up the bulldozer, and we're actually going to get this process started. So with that, Congressman.
Thanks a lot. It is an honor to be out here and talk with you guys, and just great to be back in Hamilton. Been here a few times, and really just, not this weekend before, you see the comparisons between Hamilton and over the Rhine, and you know that there's a lot of good trends going on. There was a point in time when being compared to over the Rhine was not a compliment, but now's not that time. And I think it kind of points to the future for this region, and it's nice to come out and see so many people that want to be a part of it, and really have met so many people in the community that have contributed towards the path that the city of Hamilton's on. And so to represent this district and see the good things that are going in a town with the kind of history Hamilton's had, that's undergone the change but is also showing a bright path to the future with a diverse workforce, a diverse community, but a very welcoming community. And I've experienced that firsthand. So I think this points to people that really are putting their faith in this path, that there is going to be demand for these sort of apartments that are close to the community here, that has been underway for a while. I'm encouraged to be followed by some of the folks that have been at the forefront of that, including Josh and the effort here as the city manager. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over, but it's an honor to represent the district in Congress. It's an honor to know that we have all the things that make the community great, the services that protect people that are less fortunate, but also the path forward with many, many unfilled jobs and great education environment here throughout the county and right here in Hamilton to connect people to that work. So thank you, and I look forward to seeing all this happen. It's great to be part of it. God bless.
Good afternoon. My name is Pat Moeller, Mayor of Hamilton, and I'm joined here today by Vice Mayor Carla Fear and Councilmember Kathy Klink. What an exciting and beautiful day here in Hamilton. This is kind of like a quality of life development triangle here, because we have, of course, River's Edge Amphitheater at Marcum Park, and now the Marcum Apartments. And I see back there also Councilmember Rob Weil, who kind of snuck in here. I walked over here today with Mayor Don Ryan, and we were mentioning and let's go away from Councilmember Bob Brown. So we got four. We got a quorum now, which makes it a big, happy party. But I walked over here today with former Mayor Don Ryan, and this location was a startup stop, but now it is really, really going. This area has also already become an attractive, appealing destination location to play. And with the Marcum Apartments, this now becomes the attractive, appealing destination location to live. This will also be a building where there'll be some jobs too, and job creation helping build this. So we do thank you for the job creation. Thank you, Jim Cohen, for your vision. You had the vision, and of course, got to thank City Manager Joshua Smith and our city professionals who really got it done, who just got this project done. And I think it's real symbolic that we've got this huge piece of equipment back here, because this is a real kick. I'm not going to say the word I want to say, but a real kick butt time here in the city of Hamilton when it comes to economic development. So thank you for all who got us to this point. We're going to get this done. And I really want to introduce right now our city manager, Joshua Smith. We're lucky to have him, and he worked so hard on this project. Joshua?
What the mayor was trying to say was a kick-ass piece of equipment to tear up some ground over here. But first and foremost, thank you to Jim Cohen, CMC Properties. As the mayor said earlier, the vision of this property He saw it the first time that he visited this, and a huge assist and thank you to Tom Vanderhorst, our finance director, who had worked with Jim in Loveland, knew of Jim's work, brought him here. But for that, so Tom, thank you for having the foresight to bring Jim into town and to show him around. But the exciting thing is sitting here today at the groundbreaking and then looking off to the distance and knowing that we have a future $100 million sports complex literally right across the river. This is just really the beginning. And we said that a couple times. I remember saying a couple years ago that was going to be the beginning when the amphitheater was built. And then Marcum Park broke ground, and we had a Municipal Brew Works opened up, and we have North 2nd Street Tap and Bottle opening up. It's just feeding off the momentum that's being created here. And the fact that the private investment is coming in behind what the city did, thank you to the mayor and city council for seeing that early on and understanding that they had to do that. And when I speak publicly, the one thing I also like to mention is the partnerships. I see Mike from the Butler County Port Authority here today, who played a role in getting this project off the ground. Tony Orr with the school district. I remember when Tony and I drove down to Loveland to see Jim's project for the first time, Loveland Station. But it's the county, it's the school district, it's the Chamber of Commerce, it's the city, it's the Vision Commission. It's all these entities that all want the same thing, which is a thriving Hamilton. Thanks also to Congressman Davidson. He was kind enough to come down last Thursday, spoke at Rotary, back again on Monday. He's certainly paying a lot of attention to the district. I was telling Ryan on his staff last Friday and via email that certainly has not gone unnoticed either. The Core Fund, the Parks Conservancy, that have been instrumental in getting the park done and German Village revitalized. It's incredible the energy that's being created with all these partnerships, but that's how you're not going to be able to stop us. It's when you have one or two entities that are pushing towards something, that's one thing. When you have everyone pushing towards something, that's what's truly incredible. So I appreciate the opportunity to speak today. I'm looking forward to see the bulldozer move some earth, but I truly believe this is the beginning. And actually, Congressman Davidson, I'll say this and I'll end, said something the other day at Rotary. People don't want talk, they want action. And I hope in the last couple years in Hamilton, Ohio, that you've seen that action, you've seen that activity taking place, you see us moving in the right direction. Thank you.
Well, I am Jim Cohen, and thank you all for coming out today. A lot of people have asked me why Hamilton and why now? And if those people were here today, they wouldn't be asking the question, because the answer is on the banks of the beautiful Great Miami River, where this city's founding families built paper mills and foundries, financial institutions and Mosler safes, and those families made fortunes of money and poured it back into their community in architecture and infrastructure. Hamilton back then and today has some of the most beautiful buildings in this region, the churches, the county courthouse, the bank buildings, and the office towers that make visitors look up in awe every time they drive into this town. This great city's settlers created infrastructure that serves us today. The YMCA, the Lane Public Library, the Fitness Center in Pyramid Hill are a few examples of our many best-kept secrets. But today I'd like to acknowledge a few modern Hamilton heroes without whom we would not be here today. And it starts with Tom Vanderhorst, your finance director, who about a year ago picked up the phone and said, "Jim, you got to get up here and see what's going on in Hamilton." Ian McKenzie Turley at the Fitness Center. Here is probably the #1 ambassador to our city. This is a guy with international talent that could live and work anywhere in the world, but thanks to Kelly, he is here to stay to bring us some of the most awesome programming that the arts has to offer. Scott Scramese is a native son. He is dedicated to our safety and welfare. When I asked who can show me around town and tell me everything that's going on, everybody pointed to Scott. And Scott showed me anything I wanted to see and a few things I wished I hadn't. But Scott has been generous with his time, he has been a good friend, and he has answered every question that I have asked over the year. Mike Dingledine, affectionately referred to as Mr. Hamilton. This is a guy who has transformed every building that he has touched and several of our most respected institutions. Mike is on the board of the Core Foundation. Mike is on the board of the Sculpture City. And I thank you, Mike, for everything that you do and continue to do, have done and continue to do. And then there are the pioneers of Hamilton's resurgence, our very own trailblazers. People like Steve Kuhn, who is a developer from Canton, Ohio, who came to Hamilton and made significant early investments on High Street and paved the way for everything that's going on today, and Steve Kuhn is not done. To the entrepreneurs and restaurateurs that fill the storefronts along High and Main, the coffee shops, the art galleries, the framery, the bakery, the brewery, Sarah's house, and the place that cuts my hair. I am so pleased that Sam Byler will be breaking ground on the Champion Sports Complex right across the river before we know it. He has spent more on plans and drawings than we will probably spend in this entire building, but he recognized early on the phenomenal location of Hamilton, its people, and I thank Sam for bringing Spooky Nook to Hamilton. I am also most grateful to recognize those who are partnering with me in a literal sense. Our lender, LCMB National Bank, Kim and John, thank you for being here. The Butler County Port Authority, and most notably its board member, Matt Bockhorst. And then my loyal business partners, David and Nancy Wolf, Greg and Mary Land, and of course Bob and Elaine Blatt, who are here right in front. Thank you for all of your support and encouragement. And then the most incredible city staff that any city has. From the building department and Ken Rivera to the engineering department, city council and a mayor that are able to set direction and then empower the professionals to do what needs to be done, a community foundation that is supportive of everything that goes on in this community, and simply one of the best city managers and executives in this region and maybe in the country. And I do not say that lightly. Joshua Smith is a problem solver, a cheerleader, and a humble gentleman who is the first to give credit and when necessary will take the blame. Joshua is fun to work with and even more fun to watch. But before I wrap up, there is only one person who will literally be living this project with me, for better or worse, who will be there at the end of each day, whether it's understanding, encouragement, support, or whatever, and that is my wife, Allie. You can put your phone down. Thank you. I'd like to thank Dan with the Chamber for putting this all together, Abby for doing all the details. We have locally baked cookies. We have Hamilton's best tasting water. And if we can invite the mayor and city council, Joshua, any local and state representatives, county commissioners, Bob and Elaine and Allie, we can go out here. Gary's going to start up the bulldozer and we can take some pictures. Thank you all for coming.
Look here. Ready? 1, 2, 3.